Hello, my precious associates, and welcome to another exhibition in the glorification of rock and roll. We honor those that have fallen before us. We have a big one tonight. We have lost a legendary guitar player, Phil Campbell, from the band Motorhead. He played in Motorhead probably somewhere since the mid '80s, all the way up until roughly 10 years ago, somewhere around there. He has decided to take a path that we have yet to take. So we must honor him. Let's do that with a moment of silence. May Phil Campbell go into the arms of peaceful heavenly oblivion and no longer be subjected to the bastards who would grind him down. Talking to all my Motorhead fans out there, how many of those guys are even still around? I mean, I know Mickey D is still out there, but I'm so old school. I still equate Mickey D with King Diamond. That's how messed up I am. And the guy's been playing with Motorhead for 20, 30 years. Wasn't there a guy named Wurzel for a while? Anyway. Yeah, we are going to miss some Phil Campbell. All right, so tonight, here's a band that I don't know a whole lot about. I don't know a whole lot of people who know this group. I've had this tape for a long time, probably since the early 90s. Well, I know since 1993, easily. These guys come out of NYHC, NY, and they are called Black Train Jack. They would be around from, let's go ahead and say 1990 to about 1995 is probably as long as they were around. I want to say they got back together in the early 2000s somewhere and lasted maybe another year. They only put out 2 records. They do have some demos, 7 inches, stuff like that, but they only put out 2 full-length records. They get lumped in with the New York hardcore scene. And I get it, you know, New York hardcore, they protect their own, they represent their own. This band is not a hardcore band at all. In fact, these guys are all over the place when it comes to the early 90s, which that was a very transitional period in rock and roll. Much like the 50s going into the 60s was kind of rocky, and the way people thought of rock and roll was just becoming very different. You know, you take the 60s going into the 70s, it was kind of an easy transition. The 70s going into the 80s was a pretty easy transition. I mean, there are things even in those decades, but the 90s was a rocky transition for what we considered good versus what versus what we can consider good now. What is mainstream? What is going to become mainstream? Black Train Jack finds themselves in that situation, and like I said, they're musically they're just all over the place. They don't really have a distinct style of sound. Trying to think of a good 60s band that would have been like that, because I know the 50s moving into the 60s where everybody's becoming more socially aware. That was a rocky area of rock and roll history right there. Maybe Bob Seger being all psychedelic and then turning into this weird southern rock guy. I don't know, something like that. Uh, but again, Black Train Jack, they're very New York. You can tell they're New York. They sound New York. Um, their themes, their lyrics, I totally understand where the hardcore uh, moniker is coming from. Lyrically, they have those hardcore lyrics. But there's moments in in a lot of these songs where the singer kind of goes off on some weird, Glenn Danzig sort of singing, Andrew Wood kind of singing. The guitar player goes off into these really wonderful blues lines. I mean, he sounds like a blues player. Uh, Things like that. They have songs that have the funky bass lines that are kind of reminiscent of Infectious Grooves, or maybe a cheaper version of the Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. But they do have. There's 3 songs on this record, which is called No Reward, that you can hear the very beginnings of maybe what today we would call melodic hardcore. I wouldn't exactly call it pop punk. It is way more streamlined, a little bit chunkier than pop punk. When this came out, I was somewhat familiar with Green Day's Kerplunk record, and we all knew that was going to become big. In fact, I had this before Dookie came out, and I think Dookie came out in '93 as well. And I mean, that record took the world by storm. But these guys aren't as poppy as Green Day. Let's put it there. But it is very melodic. There are pop sensibilities in this, and I guess I just have to play it so you can hear it. And I think when it comes to this record and it comes to this band, this is what they were really good at. After 94, 95, they would break up. They would be in other bands. Gray Area is one of the bands that they would become, and the other one was Nine Lives, which I'm not familiar with Gray Area, but Nine Lives was a pretty good band. So, yeah, let's check out some Black Train Jack. I honestly don't listen to this very often. It's been a while since I've heard this. But I do like to revisit it from time to time. probably more for nostalgic reasons. Uh, like I said, this is very indicative of the early '90s, and let's check it out. I will play one of their more melodic hardcore punk songs. Play another one so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about when I say these guys are all over the place.
Jenny's always been confused. She knows that she's been abused by the kids at school.
Tell me that's not Mother Love Bone.
Too. The neighborhood boys are so mature. Minds are way too close for her, so she shaves her head. When she goes to bed, she knows this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way.
you go. Black Train Jack from NYHC NY. From that first song, you can hear what I'm saying about like some of that just really early melodic hardcore kind of thing. I mean, you can kind of hear it in the second song, but you can also hear everywhere else they're going. So, yeah, I do like this band. I really do. um, they were very different when they came out. Anyway, I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting. Try to keep the faith. I know it's hard to do these days. And remember, thank you and keep being awesome.